Emma, you bring shame to our family. Please go. You're not wanted here. Those cutting words pierced through the air, spat by my own father amidst the celebration of my brother Tom's wedding. The humiliation stung deeper as Tom remained silent, a silent accomplice to my expulsion. Anger boiled within me, ready to storm out when a plea for help interrupted my departure. A staff member, desperate in a moment of crisis, sought my aid. In that unexpected turn, my father saw me for who I truly was, and it jolted him. My name is Emma, one of 2 brothers in our family. Growing up, our father, a stern lawyer, favored Tom, leaving me to perpetually chase his shadow. No moment of leisure existed in our lives, every second was dedicated to lessons and studying. Even the simple joy of playing with friends was a luxury denied. Despite my relentless efforts to meet my father's lofty standards and match Tom's achievements, I perpetually felt inadequate, a constant disappointment to my father. The pivotal moment arrived with the entrance exam for a prestigious school, a futile attempt to win my father's approval. When I inevitably failed, my father's silence towards me solidified his attention solely on Tom, and my mother was left to navigate the shadows of neglect. I found solace in my mother's unwavering support, but the challenges persisted, exacerbated by Tom's indifference. Determined to forge my own path, I departed silently after high school, leaving only a note for my mother. Striking out on my own, I secured a job at a hotel where I could both work and live. It was there, amidst the bustling corridors and transient guests, that I found the freedom and fulfillment that eluded me at home. Emma, another mistake. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm sorry. I'll fix it right away. Get it together, Emma. Jack, the hotel manager, was relentless in his expectations. As a mere high school graduate thrust into the real world, I constantly found myself on the receiving end of his reprimands. Yet, amidst the criticism, I persisted, striving to prove myself in this unfamiliar terrain. Unlike my father's harshness, Jack's feedback was constructive. His praise, when earned, fueled my determination to excel. A significant moment etched itself into my memory at the dawn of the new year, the busiest time for the hotel. After completing the requisite training, I was entrusted to work independently. That year, the influx of guests seemed greater than ever, stretching our resources to their limits. The chaos of serving dinner guests, either in the bustling dining hall or through room service, reached fever pitch. Despite being a novice, I tackled my duties with fervor, aware that my learning curve came at the expense of the hotel's smooth operation. Then, a minor crisis struck on New Year's Day. A colleague fell ill, leaving us short-staffed. I doubled down on my efforts, pushing myself beyond the mandated hour to keep the hotel afloat. Just when it seemed we had weathered the storm, disaster struck. The kitchen sink's pipe burst amidst the dinner rush, plunging us into chaos. With no plumber available on New Year's Day, the situation grew dire. Jack's frustration mirrored the mounting tension in a moment of desperation. I stepped forward. Jack, can I try fixing the plumbing? I'll sort it out. Though met with skepticism, my offer was our only hope. With a hesitant nod, Jack relented, allowing me to take charge. Unbeknown to many, my time in a science-focused high school had equipped me with a unique set of skills, including rudimentary plumbing knowledge. Drawing on this background, I set to work. Half an hour later, the once flooded kitchen was restored to order, the crisis averted through a combination of determination and unexpected expertise. I had somehow managed to fix the pipe. I announced breathlessly to Jack. He rushed over, turning the faucet with eager anticipation. Water gushed forth, a testament to my makeshift repair. The room erupted in smiles and praise. Great job, Emma. You're my pride and joy, Jack declared, his words washing over me with warmth. Growing up under Jack's guidance had been a revelation. Together, we navigated the challenges of New Year's Day at the hotel, emerging victorious. The sense of fulfillment I experienced that day left an indelible mark, shaping the person I am today. 15 years flew by, and I found myself fully immersed in my role at the hotel. Then, one day, a letter arrived from Mom, breaking the silence that had settled between us. It bore news of Tom's impending marriage. Though I had drifted apart from Dad and Tom, Mom's plea for my presence at the wedding tugged at my heartstrings. Reluctantly, I agreed to attend the venue. A luxurious hotel mirrored Tom and Dad's penchant for extravagance. As I arrived, clad in a trusty suit, I couldn't shake the feeling of being out of place amidst the elite gathering. Perhaps Tom's bride, a woman of impeccable grace, was a product of Dad's networking or a strategic alliance. In the waiting room, surrounded by faces of high society, I found myself an outsider, observing from the periphery with no one to engage. I became a silent observer, watching the intricate dance of privilege and power unfold before me. As I locked eyes with two familiar faces, a sense of unease settled within me. His expression was unmistakably disapproving. Dad and Tom approached, their presence looming over me. "Why are you here?" Dad's voice, deep and commanding, echoed through the air, stirring memories long buried. "Is it so wrong to celebrate Tom's wedding?" I replied, trying to diffuse the tension. Tom's response was muted, his conflicted expression betraying the strain of our family dynamics. "What have you been up to all these years?" "No doubt some worthless job," his words cut through the air like a knife, his disdain palpable. "Emma, you shouldn't be here," he continued, his tone dropping with contempt. Mom rushed over, attempting to intercede. "Come on, Emma is here to celebrate." "No need to be so harsh," she pleaded, her desperation evident. But her efforts were futile, drowned out by Dad's unwavering judgment. "Enough, Mom," Dad asserted, his voice of thunderous decree. "Emma, let me make this clear. You're a disgrace. I don't want you ruining Tom's celebration. Get out." Anger surged within me, fueled by years of neglect and rejection. I hadn't wanted to come to Tom's wedding, and yet I found myself subjected to this humiliation. "Fine, I'm leaving," I declared, my resolve firm as I turned to exit the waiting room. A voice called out, halting my retreat. A wedding staff member approached, urgency etched on their face. "What's up?" I inquired, curiosity mingling with frustration. "It seems we have an unexpected guest for today's wedding. We're short on seats and food," they explained hurriedly, their concern evident. Everyone in the waiting room looked worried. Mila, the planner, and the parents-in-law staff, their faces etched with concern, awaited a solution, caught between indignation and duty. I hesitated, uncertain of my next move. "I see. Is that what's going on, Mila? Can't handle it alone and they're asking for my help, but what does this have to do with me?" I pondered, a torrent of grievances against Dad and Tom swirling within me. Yet, amidst the resentment, memories from the past surfaced, softening my resolve. Recollections of Tom's kindness flooded my mind, the times he made space for play during our study breaks. If I walked away now, I'd be no better than that. With a determined sigh, I turned back to the wedding staff. "Can you take me to Mila?" I requested, a flicker of resolve in my voice. The staff member's face softened, and I followed them back into the waiting room, reclaiming the ground from which I had been expelled moments before. In the center of the room, Mila, Dad, and the bride's father wore expressions of concern as I approached. Dad's eyes locked with mine, his demeanor bristling with hostility. "Why has Emma returned?" he demanded, his tongue sharp. Before he could escalate the confrontation, Mila intervened. "General Manager, please help us," she implored, her urgency palpable. Dad's shock was evident as I calmly revealed my position as the general manager of the hotel chain. Since joining the company during its nascent stages, we had expanded to hotels and wedding venues nationwide. The very hotel we stood in was under my oversight. I think I can handle this, I assured them, dismissing Dad's protest with a wave of my hand. I'm busy right now. We'll talk later. With a sense of purpose, I turned to Mila. Relax, Mila. Get the seats and everything else ready. I'll take care of the food, I directed, watching as the tension eased from her features. Understood. I'll leave the food to the general manager and handle the rest, she affirmed before rushing off to execute the plan. With all eyes on me, I exited the room and sought out my friend, Chef Jackson. Hey, you, I called out as he emerged from the kitchen. Emma, what brings you here? He inquired, his curiosity piqued. I'm here as a guest today. My brother's wedding is happening here, but we're one meal short. Can you help? I asked Chef Jackson, hoping for a quick fix. Sure thing. I'll whip something up with my culinary skills, he replied confidently. Much appreciated. I owe you dinner. Looking forward to it, I replied gratefully. After handling a few loose ends, I returned to the waiting room. The guests had already moved to the ceremony area, leaving only my parents and the bride's parents behind. As I announced the issue was resolved, relief washed over the room. We've got an extra meal coming, I explained, seeing the tension ease from my mom's and the bride's parents' faces. My dad, however, remained conflicted, his pride evident. Emma, thank you so much. Because of you, the celebration can go on successfully, my dad acknowledged, his gratitude genuine. It's all in a day's work as a general manager. I replied with a smile, leading the way into the ceremony hall. As the light dimmed and the groom and bride made their entrance, I couldn't help but marvel at their radiant presence. The ceremony proceeded smoothly, and as mealtime arrived, I ensured everyone was served before finally exhaling a sigh of relief. With the ceremony concluded, I engaged in a heartfelt conversation with both families, sharing their gratitude towards me, especially from the bride's family, who thanked me profusely. These moments are why I love my job, I admitted sincerely, as their expressions of gratitude warmed my heart. Emma, thank you so much. We had the best day ever, all thanks to you, they expressed with genuine appreciation. No worries, wishing you all the happiness in the world. Thank you so much, I replied warmly before turning to face my dad and Tom. Emma, you did wonderfully. Thank you, my mom praised, her words filled with pride. Dad and Tom wanted to speak with me. As Tom apologized first, expressing gratitude for my assistance, I couldn't help but smile. As long as I could help, Tom, it's all good, I reassured him before turning to Dad, who remained silent. With a sense of closure, I accepted their gratitude, knowing that despite our differences, we could find common ground. Just then, my cell phone buzzed, signaling more work awaiting me at the hotel in the next town over. Looks like more work, but hey, I enjoy it, so no complaints. Alright, I'm off. Got work to do. You two take care, I bid farewell, ready to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. It was a realization settling in. I probably wouldn't see Tom or Dad again. With that thought lingering, I left the room without a backward glance, my steps leading me back to work. 3 days post Tom's wedding, I relished a rare day off, reclining on the sofa with a steaming cup of coffee. My moment of bliss abruptly interrupted by the doorbell's chime. Curious as to the visitor's identity, I made my way to the door, only to be met with Tom's unexpected presence. Tom, what brings you here? I inquired, surprised by his appearance. Sorry, I got your address from Mom. Wanted to talk to you, Emma, Tom explained, his tone tentative. I welcomed him in, brushing off any concerns about the tidiness of my home as I poured him a cup of coffee. Tom expressed gratitude, taking a slow sip. Thank you, smells good, he remarked, attempting a smile as we settled into conversation. Tom's demeanor shifted, his gaze unwavering as he broached the topic at hand the next moment. He apologized, I recalled, puzzled by his sudden change in tone. I'm really sorry for everything, he admitted, catching me off guard. Initially taken aback by his unexpected apology, I struggled to comprehend his motive for making the trip in person. Hey, it's all right, Tom, I reassured him, attempting to alleviate any tension. But Tom wasn't done yet. With a sense of vulnerability, he began to share his innermost thoughts and feelings. You might think I'm the older brother who can do anything, but I envy you, Emma, he confessed, his words striking a chord. Silence enveloped the room as Tom's confession hung in the air, leaving me at a loss for words. His admission took me by surprise, shattering preconceived notions and revealing a side of him I had never seen. I had no idea you felt that way, Tom, I admitted, a twinge of guilt gnawing at me as I processed his revelation. That's just it, it's not your fault, Emma, Tom reassured me, his weak smile betraying a depth of emotion. In that moment, a sense of understanding washed over me, bridging the gap between us. Tom, I'm sorry I never considered that you were struggling too, I confessed, my own remorse surfacing. My brother's smile, though faint, spoke volumes. That's just it, it's not your fault, Emma, he reassured me, his words echoing in the quiet room. With a newfound sense of empathy and connection, we found the words to express what had long been left unsaid, strengthening the bond between us. I think you've been through struggles I can't even imagine. I truly admire that, but I also want you to know about me, I confessed to Tom, feeling the weight of my words as they hung in the air. Taking a deep breath, I paused, gathering my thoughts before continuing. Tom listened intently, his silence encouraging me to share more. Breaking away from our parents and becoming independent wasn't easy either. The beginning was really tough, I admitted, recognizing the parallel struggles we both faced. It's true, we both have our share of hardships, Tom acknowledged, his response genuine. It was clear that he had more to say, but I found myself at a loss for words, unsure of how to offer guidance or reassurance. Unable to conjure up wise counsel, I spoke from the heart. To be honest, I think you should do what you really want to do, Tom, without worrying about Dad, I suggested, hoping to offer him some semblance of clarity amidst his inner turmoil. As Tom absorbed my words, a sense of relief washed over him. You're right, Emma. You've helped clear up my inner turmoil. Thank you, he expressed, gratitude evident in his tone. No, thank you, Tom, for coming over, I replied sincerely, accompanying him to the door as he departed with a promise to return for coffee. A month later, a letter arrived from Tom detailing his decision to leave behind his career as a lawyer in pursuit of his passion for glass craftsmanship. Despite facing disapproval from Dad, Tom found solace in the support of his wife and newfound motivation in his chosen path. As I reflected on Tom's journey and our evolving family dynamics, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in the bond between siblings. Lost in thought, the sound of my mobile phone's alarm jolted me back to reality, signaling the start of another day in the path I had chosen, in the job I had embraced.